This is a story of how I got ghosted for looking too good. So this was a few months ago, and I had finally got approached by a guy at a bar, and I was already so flattered because I had been complaining to my friends about how guys don't approach women anymore. They just stare at you and then they don't even say hello. It's insane. So I was already flattered that he had the confidence to come up to me,
Okay.
and he asked for my number. He asked to take me to coffee. Now, this is where things can be a little controversial because if you're traditional, then you think this is where I drop the ball. I don't give a shit. But I ended up going home with him that night, and I don't care because I'm just like, he partook in things too. And this was like,
Okay.
I post breakup, like I was wanting that. And that's just what ended up happening. I was comfortable, he was comfortable,
Ain't nothing wrong with that,
we're
baby.
both comfortable. I don't see what's wrong with it.
Do you think?
So then, next morning he takes me to coffee, and then we keep texting the next few days, and I'm annoyed because I'm like, so when are you going to take me out? Like, I'm the one who initiates seeing each other again, which bugged me, but shouldn't be surprised because he was just a whore. And I'm like, should we do dinner? Should we do drinks? Ladies, if they just want to get drinks with you, don't go. It's not a date. They're just trying to get you drunk and sleep with you again, which we're learning. This is like my first, I don't know, post relationship. I'm really hit hard with the fact that they are awful. Like, I had a healthy relationship, healthy breakup, and it was just like, wow, men really are what people say. But anyways, we end up going out for drinks, and
Wow.
I'm like, hope you dress up. I don't think he was nearly on my level of what I meant. And to be honest, like, I'm a little embarrassed of looking that good for him because when it comes to dressing up, girl, I do that for me. I can see how he thought that I was doing that for him. That's not how I work. Like, did you see my Instagram when I say
That's
dress
insane.
up? You should have been taking notes. I like to dress up. And when we're going on a date, which is what I'm used to, I guess, with my ex, is like, we dress up, dress up. Like,
You ever notice how the people who claim they're done with someone are the same ones making 10-minute videos about them? Yeah, that's not closure. That's confusion. Before we dive in, drop a comment. Are modern men more delusional, or is it the ladies? Hit like and subscribe. Let's get the 1 million subscribers this month so you don't miss what we expose next. I'm gonna stop her right there because what we're seeing is the oldest trick in the modern dating book. Women don't make full-blown storytime videos about men they don't like. If she didn't care, he'd be invisible to her. But the moment she starts dissecting every move he made, analyzing what went wrong, and creating a whole video essay about him, oh, trust me, she cared. Now, here's the kicker. She's trying to renegotiate the terms after the deal's already done. He clapped on the first night, things got awkward, and now she's pretending like she wants to take it slow. Sound familiar? It's like buying something at full price and then trying to demand a refund after you've already used it. That's not accountability. That's revisionist history. And notice how the logic always flips. When men expect something after taking a woman out, it's entitlement. But when a woman gets what she wanted, then suddenly decides she wants to rewrite the narrative to make herself look more respectable. We're supposed to call it empowerment. No. That's just selective memory dressed up as... The truth is simple. She liked the guy. She gave him access. Now she's trying to change who he is to fit a story she can justify later. And instead of admitting that maybe she moved too fast, she blames society's expectations. Society didn't tell her to do that. She did. And let's talk about the irony. She says she misses getting dressed up for dinner like she did with her ex. Translation. She wants a new man to recreate old memories. But relationships don't work like photo filters. You can't copy-paste your past into your present and expect it to feel the same. Meanwhile, the guy's just chill, playing it cool, seeing if she's consistent. He's not refusing to take her out. He's just saying, earn it. Build something real first. Because real connection comes before reservations, not after. And the double standard. Crystal clear. If a man told a woman, hey, I want you to wear this, and this for me, it'd be labeled controlling. But when she says, I want you to take me here, act like this, and plan it that way, somehow it's considered romantic. That's the gender confusion in a nutshell. Control looks cute when it's feminine, but toxic when it's masculine. Let's keep it real. This isn't about dinner. It's about power.
He's not there. You know, I was living in Chicago, moved back home. We're in Kansas now. Guys aren't like that. And I'm not going to find one here. No, no, no. So this is when I show up in a long red dress. Mind you, I haven't worn red before, and I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I looked so good. I felt so good. I was in a red dress and heels. I drive to his place because at the time I was like 30 minutes from him. He comes to my car and I look at what he's wearing. He's wearing like black pants and like a green sweater. He opens my door and I go, oh no, you have to change. I literally was like, we're going to be Christmas colors. You have to change. And I'm in a dress and you're in a sweater. You're going to wear a sweater out for like nice drinks. Already, I don't want to be with you. Like, already no. Velvet! Sorry, my cat's going crazy.
Right.
So I'm waiting on him in his room while he's changing, and then he puts on cream trousers and a black button-up, and I'm like, there we go. He gets us an Uber, and he tells the Uber driver we're actually on our first date, and I was like, cute. And then we get drinks. He pays for everything, and I think he probably spent like $100. And I wasn't planning on staying the night, but I was too drunk to drive.
Take her out.
This was the plan. This was the plan. I wasn't seeing clearly. He was a whore. And I remember him saying to the bartender, we may be overdressed. And I told him, I was like, they don't know where we're coming from. Like, why is this, like, I didn't say this, but I was like, why is this such a big deal to you? And I was just like annoyed at how like uncomfortable he made me feel. So I was like, okay, clearly you haven't like gone on a date where you've dressed up, so it's just giving childish to me. But he kind of redeemed himself because in our conversation it actually was going really well, and I feel like we were having like sort of in-depth like intellectual conversations, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can actually like connect with you. So I wasn't that like uncomfortable spending the night because like I was starting to get excited.
You already
clapped. Like, oh, maybe this is someone like I actually have interest for. So then the next morning he cooks me breakfast and like I think things are well, but then the next few days he's like,
you can hear it all in her tone. She hates that she likes this guy. That's the internal battle a lot of modern women face today. On one hand, they want to be in control. They want to chase the lifestyle, the image, the attention. But when they finally meet a man who doesn't chase them back, who just exists in his own lane, suddenly they can't stand how drawn they are to him. It's wild. She's doing the pursuing. She's calling. She's planning. She's pushing the interaction forward. And yet, she resents herself for it. Why? Because deep down, she knows this flips the script on what she's been told about dating, that he should be the one chasing her. But here's the truth. When the roles reverse, the attraction skyrockets. She's into him because he's not worshiping her. Now, this guy knows exactly what's going on. There's no confusion on his end. He can see the signs. She's invested. And even when he humors her by going along with some of her requests, changing clothes, playing along, letting her feel a bit in control, he never fully gives up his position. That's why she stays hooked, because he's not bending over backwards to win her. He's calm. He's calculated. He's not desperate for validation. And yes, he still ended up clapping. But the point isn't that. It's the fact that she wanted to stay after. That tells you everything. When a woman feels emotionally unbalanced but still can't walk away, that's not just chemistry. That's psychological tension. But notice the pattern. Everything in her story gets blamed on him. He made me feel this. He did that. He's confusing me. Never once does she stop and say, maybe I'm creating this dynamic. Because in her world, she's the flawless protagonist. She's perfect, just misunderstood. Meanwhile, he's sitting there probably thinking, yeah, she's cute, but this is not girlfriend material. She talks about herself too much. She's performing more than connecting, and she's clearly addicted to the drama. He already knows this is a short-term situation. He's just letting it play out. That's the difference between male logic and female fantasy. He's observing while she's obsessing. He's clear-headed while she's conflicted. And that's why she keeps chasing men like him, because she's not attracted to control. She's addicted to the chaos that comes when she loses it.
Try to claim they're a bad texter. That's just a cop-out. Like, everyone is on their phone every 15 minutes. You're just showing me you're not interested enough. So I was already just starting to feel low because I was like, you're just not putting in the effort. And the next weekend came around and he asked what I was doing that night. And I'm assuming he's eventually going to ask to see me out, but he never does. And me, like, out with my friends, anxiously waiting for him to want to see me, I see him at a bar.
There you go.
Sharing a cigarette with another girl. And I stop in my tracks. I feel like I'm about to start crying, but then my stubbornness kicks in. And I go right up to the table next to him where he's talking to this girl, and I start talking to a guy. And I refuse to look at him, and he hasn't responded to my text. But then I look over from the corner of my eye, and he's looking at his phone at my texts, because I told him I was on my way to this bar in which he was there talking to this other girl. So I know he knows it's me. And what does he do? He gets up from the table and he walks right behind me and leaves. Doesn't even say hi. My head was right next to yours a few nights ago.
Why didn't you say something?
And you're just gonna completely dismiss me? Who the f do you think you are? I texted him, I just saw you with another girl, like, sharing a cigarette. I don't hear from him the entire next day. And then the following day, he tries to claim that, well, I saw you talking to a guy, so I didn't know what to do. And I point blank, I'm like, I need to be pursued. I'm a woman who needs to be pursued. And he sends me back a Kanye West meme that says, what the f does that mean?
My man right here is actually playing it smart. This isn't toxic masculinity. This is just a mirror. He's giving her the same treatment women give men every single day, and now she doesn't know how to process it. Think about it. When a woman doesn't really like you, what does she do? She act distracted, pretend you're invisible, or even stand next to you while talking to another guy just to signal you're not that important. That's exactly what's happening in reverse here. She's next to him, silent, pulling childish moves, while he's calmly talking to someone else. Like, wait, are we even a couple? What's the situation here? And that's the part so many people overlook. Women do this constantly. They'll spend the night with a man, be intimate, and then the next day vanish like nothing happened. No texts, no calls, no follow-up, just vibes. But the moment a man flips the script and treats her with that same detachment, suddenly it's a crime. Suddenly he's cold or toxic. No, he's just not hooked like the guy she's used to. This guy, he's clearly good with women. You can see it in his composure. He's not rattled. He's not chasing. He's not giving her that validation fix she's addicted to. And here's the irony. She hates that he's not chasing her, but she loves it at the same time. Because the mystery keeps her interested. The tension keeps her coming back. Let's be real. There are probably dozens of men who have pursued her hard, put her on a pedestal, sent her long texts, and she just rolled her eyes. EW next. But the one man who's not bowing down, who's not following the script, that's the one she can't stop thinking about. That's modern dating in a nutshell. People say they want love, but a lot of them are addicted to the chase. They don't want stability. They want the roller coaster. And when a man knows how to sit still on that ride, he becomes the only one she can't predict. And that's exactly why she's hooked.
Ick. Obviously, you're not as, like, high value or, like, classy as I am. Like, that's just disgusting behavior. But anyways, we're done. Like, on my way home, even from that night seeing him with the other girl, I unfollowed him on Instagram. And I couldn't shake it. I've never been that disrespected in my life. I was losing sleep. I was so mad. So mad. Everyone at both my jobs heard about him. Fast forward to like 2 weeks ago. Where do I see him at? At the bar that I saw him sharing that cigarette with a girl. I'm never going back there again. It's like
go back.
It's like a frat party, basically. And we make eye contact for a second, and then he immediately gets all fidgety and walks to the other side. And I'm with two of my girlfriends, and oh, do they know about him. And I was like, Sophie, he's here. And she looks over at him, and she was like, he just told his friend she's here. And so I'm like, oh, I need a shot. Because I know in my bones, I'm not letting him leave without hearing from me. So we go get a shot.
You hear?
And then I see him start to walk out of the bar. And, like, I was at the point, I was like, do I do this? Like, am I crazy, or, like, do I go? But he starts to leave, and I was like, oh, no. Like, it's time. So him and his friend start to walk out, but then they pivot to the bathroom. And I'm, like, waiting, like, outside this men's stall for him. And there's these two girls. And, like, I'm a little tipsy. And I'm like, do I go cuss out this man who fucked me over and disrespect?
You hear this, right? This guy is literally giving a masterclass in emotional control, and most people won't even catch it. Because in today's world, indifference looks like disrespect to someone who's used to being chased. Think about it. How many dates has this woman gone on where the guy bent over backward, paid for everything, texted her good morning, followed up the next day, and she didn't even mention him to her? Friends, not a single conversation, not even an afterthought. But this guy, the one who isn't sweating her, the one who's just moving how he wants to move, suddenly he's the headline of a 10-minute rant that tells you everything about modern dating psychology. Most women aren't used to indifference. They call it disrespect when a man simply doesn't pedestalize them. But real ones know indifference is power. It's not arrogance, it's composure. And here's the part that makes this so ironic. She's saying she feels disrespected, but what exactly did he do? He didn't insult her. He didn't ghost her. He didn't yell or touch her inappropriately. He simply didn't chase. That's it. The disrespect was him choosing peace over performance. Meanwhile, the average man experiences that same energy every single day. You take a woman out, you show interest, she disappears. And when you bring it up, you're told, oh, I'm just doing me. But when the roles reverse, it's suddenly toxic masculinity. No, this is not toxic. This is equilibrium. This is what happens when men stop over-investing in people who treat their attention like a given. This guy handled himself perfectly. He stayed centered. He didn't match her chaos, didn't chase validation, didn't beg for clarity. He just lived his life and said, when we talk, we talk. When we see each other, we have a good time. Simple. No drama, no confusion. And that's what modern women struggle with. A man who isn't programmable. A man who doesn't move based on her rules, her moods, or her timeline. Because she's used to men auditioning for her attention. But he's not auditioning. He's just existing. So fellas, take notes. Self-control is the new game. The less you chase, the more peace you keep. If she calls it toxic, that's just projection. Because if the roles were reversed, she'd call it boundaries.
Girl, go cuss him out. So they come out, and I go up, and I go, hi. So are you running away from me? And he plays it cool. He goes, oh, no, I didn't see you there. And I go,
there you go.
He goes, how are you? And I just said, I was going to throw my drink in your face, but I thought I would just say you. And he was wearing a hat, and when I said you, I, like, tapped his hat. And he goes, oh, you're going to throw your drink in my face? And I go, and then I walk away. And, you know, part of me is glad for, like, keeping my composure, but it is on my bucket list to throw a drink in a man's face, and that would have been the one. And also, I kind of wish that I did, because he stayed. I'm like, who the f do you think you are to stay after you just saw me and after I cussed you out? Like, get the f out, go. But he stayed. But anyways, at the end of the day, I'm so proud of myself, because I've never, like, I'm not a confrontational person, and I've never done that or, like, had the opportunity to cuss out a man who's, like, done me that wrong.
This is crazy.
So I feel so proud of me. But anyways, since I've confronted him, I've, like, finally been able to, like, lay it to rest and get over it. But I just truly know that, like, he just thought I was too much, especially just, like, from what I wore. And I've been on a date since, and I was like, okay, Presley, we have to dress down. So I wore, like, little kitten heels and, like, these fitted cream pants and a black fitted tee and gold hoops. And what does this guy wear? Khaki shorts and, like, a button-up polo t-shirt. Like, are you about to go golfing? Like, Oh my God, no. Like the guys here just aren't on my vibe. It's just not it at all. So we're not seeing that anymore. But yeah, anyways, stay safe out there and just keep dressing up for yourself, because this is the thing. Like, even if I was going on a date with myself, I would still.
The insanity of it all, man. Just listen to how wild this situation is when you really zoom out. A woman makes a whole video claiming she was disrespected by a man who didn't insult her, didn't ghost her, didn't do anything but refused to play her game. That's where we are now. A man's indifference is mistaken for cruelty. It's mind-blowing how many modern women can't see the double standard in real time. They'll treat men the exact same way, ignore texts, keep options open, show up late, act disinterested, and call it protecting their energy. But when the tables turn, when a man moves with that same energy, suddenly it's disrespect, toxicity, or emotional damage. And that's the part nobody wants to admit, because this isn't rare. This is everyday dating in the modern world. Ask any guy who's been outside lately. 9 times out of 10, it goes exactly like this. You meet someone, she's into you for a week, then vanishes, or acts bored, or blames you for not chasing hard enough. It's rinse and repeat, a cycle of projection disguised as empowerment. Men experience this constantly, but when they finally respond with calm detachment, when they stop feeding the attention economy, suddenly the narrative flips. They're cold, they're heartless. No, they're just tired of investing in confusion. And that's why videos like this matter, because they expose how out of balance the dating dynamic has become. One side thinks accountability is optional. The other side gets villainized for having boundaries. At the end of the day, it's not about gender wars, it's about awareness. Because once men stop chasing chaos and women stop mistaking calm for rejection, that's when real connection can actually happen. But until then, expect more of these videos. More people mistaking lessons for disrespect. Anyway, you know the deal. Like, share, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Are men just finally learning to play the game better? Or are modern women just not used to losing control? Either way, this is wisdom, your favorite everything. Let's run it up to 1 million. Quit playing with me. Peace.